How did you get the ultimate revenge on a terrible boss? My manager kept taking credit for my code and passing me over for promotions, so I built a logic bomb into every project that would activate if I ever got fired. I'd been working at this tech startup for 3 years, busting my ass writing software that kept the company running. My direct manager, Steve, was one of those guys who couldn't code his way out of a paper bag, but somehow talked his way into management. Steve had this routine where he'd sit in on my project meetings, nod along like he understood what I was saying, then present my work to the executives like it was his brilliant idea, every single time. When promotion season came around, I applied for senior developer. My GitHub commits showed I'd written 80% of our core platform. My code reviews were flawless. I was basically running 3 junior developers. The promotion went to Steve's college buddy Marcus, who'd been at the company for 6 months and whose biggest accomplishment was setting up the office printer. Sorry, man, Steve said with fake sympathy. Marcus just has that leadership quality we're looking for. Leadership quality? The guy asked me how to center a div in CSS. Second year, same story. I applied for team lead, got passed over again. This time for Steve's cousin, who'd never written a line of code in his life, but had an MBA. You're just not ready for management, Steve explained. Maybe focus on your technical skills. My technical skills were literally keeping their entire platform from crashing. That's when I started getting creative with my code. Nothing malicious, just a little insurance policy. Every major feature I built, I embedded what programmers call a dead man's switch. Basically, a piece of code that required me to log in and reset it every 30 days, or the feature would stop working. I disguised it as routine maintenance checks. The code looked completely normal unless you knew exactly what to look for. Even then, it was buried so deep in the system architecture that finding it would take weeks. For 2 years, I quietly updated my maintenance protocols every month. Nobody suspected anything because I was always the guy who fixed problems, not caused them. Then last month, Steve called me into his office with HR present. Bad sign. We're restructuring the development team, Steve announced. Your position is being eliminated. Eliminated? I built half this platform. And we appreciate your contributions. Marcus will be taking over your responsibilities. Marcus couldn't debug a Hello World program if his life depended on it. They offered me 2 weeks severance and walked me out that afternoon. Standard corporate ruthlessness. I smiled and shook Steve's hand. Hope everything runs smoothly without me. Week 1 after I left, everything seemed normal. My dead man switches were still active. Week 2, small glitches started appearing. A login feature would randomly stop working for a few hours, then mysteriously fix itself. Week 3, their payment processing system went down for half a day. Cost them about $50,000 in lost transactions. Week 4, the big one hit. Their main user dashboard completely stopped loading. The feature that 90% of their customers use daily just died. Marcus spent 3 days trying to figure out what was wrong. Called in 2 different consulting firms. Nothing. Meanwhile, I'm getting LinkedIn messages from Steve. First professional, then desperate, then straight up begging. Hey, we're having some technical issues with systems you worked on. Could you take a quick look? We'd pay consulting rates. I ignored them. Day 5 of the outage, their biggest client threatened to cancel their contract. Steve's job was on the line. That's when he called me directly, voice shaking. Please, I know we didn't part on the best terms, but we really need your help. What's the problem? Everything you built is failing. Marcus can't figure out why. We'll pay whatever you want. I quoted them $500 an hour with a 40-hour minimum. Desperation makes people agree to anything. Done. How soon can you start? I walked back into that office as a consultant, making more in 1 week than they'd paid me in 3 months as an employee. Fixed all my dead man switches in about 2 hours. Spent the remaining 38 hours investigating and writing up detailed documentation. Steve had to explain to the board how a eliminated developer position turned out to be completely irreplaceable. He got fired 2 weeks later. I got offered his job at double my old salary. Sometimes the best revenge is just being indispensable.